Folks, you know I keep it real. You know I do, and some of y'all don't like the realness. Some of y'all are in this feelings thing when it comes to Kennedy Carter. I know Ben Daniel, my boy, posted a video about Kennedy Carter today. He and I had already talked about it, and I just hadn't had a chance to get in front of my computer to do it. I saw his, and quite frankly, I almost completely agree with him. And so if you want to hear my thoughts on this topic, which you probably already know that I do agree with him because I've said that I agree with him, um, you should hear more because I have more than even what he provided to you. I'm going to take it another step deeper because I like to go deeper into the weeds. And I'm going to speak on this from a few different perspectives in terms of the angles here. The WNBA is a mess. It's a messy league. It's a messy league, people. If you don't know that by now, you ain't been paying attention. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, powered by Coming Out of the Podcast. We talk facts over feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Shoma, a.k.a. Rudy the Hammer. Welcome back to all my loyal followers. I appreciate you. Leave a like, comment on this video. And I'm sure plenty of y'all will disagree with me, but honestly, I don't care because we all have our own brains. We all have our own thoughts. But I've actually researched this topic a little bit more, and I've gone a little deeper into it. Now, for those of you who are new, I appreciate y'all jumping on. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I appreciate you. So, Courtney Williams, who is for some reason so unbelievably beloved in the WNBA, despite the fact she's played with with 6 teams in 8 seasons. She started her career in Phoenix. And I'll give you background because I guarantee most of y'all don't know who the fuck Courtney Williams is. You see her maybe on Unrivaled. You see her now this past year with the Lynx. Did you know that that was her first year with the Lynx? You probably didn't know because most people don't know dick about the WNBA. Most people just turned it on this year. And the people who are largely telling me that I'm crazy, and the same people who are telling Ben that he's crazy, largely have never watched the WNBA. Many of you are Caitlin Clark fans, like myself, but you've never actually really watched the WNBA. Why haven't you watched it? Because the league sucked. We've all established that. The beloved Caitlin Clark brought all of us here to watch. And all people have listened to is the tidbit bullshit that you've heard reported. The attacks on Chennedy Carter. So the forum, if Chennedy Carter never forums Caitlin Clark in the back, let me ask you a question. Do you have a problem with her? Probably not. But she did it. Mind you, her entire bench was clapping. Remember when it happened? They were all clapping. They were all on board with that shit. They had no problem with it. And you know who was also on that team? Marina Mabry was on that team at the time. Chennedy Carter did what she did. Mind you, let's be real. Right after, Caitlin Clark did some shit to her. Right? It happened. Go watch the tape. It's there. Do I condone what she did? How she? I think you do it in the course of the game. I don't think you do it like in between, in a dead ball when the ball's out of bounds and the ball hasn't even been handed in yet. I don't think you do it that way. I'm not cool with that. I don't like it. But if she had not done that, you probably wouldn't even know who the fuck she was, nor would you care about who she was, and you wouldn't necessarily believe everything that you've heard about her. And I ask you guys, this video will take a little bit. So please bear with me as I take you down the road. Courtney Williams went to University of South Florida. Courtney Williams played 4 years there. She at South Florida averaged 22 points her senior season at South Florida. She's a 5'8" guard. She averaged 22.4. She was an All-American her senior year at South Florida. All right. She also averaged 8.5 rebounds. This is a girl who's 5'8", 8.4 rebounds, 2.6 assists. She's a 5'8" shooting guard. She's not a 5'8" point guard. She's a 5'8" 2. Similar, honestly, to Chennedy Carter. Although Chennedy Carter, earlier on in her career, was playing a little bit more point guard, if you actually take a look. Chennedy Carter went to Texas A&M. She played 3 years at Texas A&M. Chennedy Carter averaged 22.7, 23.3, and 21.3 her freshman, sophomore, and junior years. She averaged 22.5 for her career at Texas A&M. She was a second-team All-American, US BWA, and a second-team AP All-American and her junior year, and also an first-team All-American WBCA. She was a highly regarded college player. 4.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.7 steals, all that stuff. Chennedy Carter was the 4th pick in the draft. Courtney Williams was the 8th pick in the draft. Courtney Williams goes to Phoenix. She's drafted by the Phoenix Mercury. Yet the Phoenix Mercury, 6 games in to Courtney Williams' professional career, traded her. You ever think to ask yourself why someone would trade a player who is heralded as she was in college, and you picked her 8th in the draft? You ever thought about why they would do that? I'm asking you. I want you to think about that for a little bit. A woman who averaged 22.5 points a game her senior year in college, 22.5 points, 8.5 boards. You don't think that she would fit in with players like Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner and whoever else was on that team? Like think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. Like electric player like that, athletic, tough. Courtney Williams is tough. She's very tough. Y'all think she's cutesy and shit. I guarantee you, Courtney Williams is not cutesy. Courtney Williams is a goon. You think Chennedy Carter's a goon? Courtney Williams is a goon also. She just has that happy face when she's not a goon. Keeping it real here, folks. That's what I do. Courtney Williams went to high school in Charlton County, Georgia, which is in the middle of nowhere. It's a high school with 450 kids. Half of it's minority, half of it's white. Their scores, math proficiency, I'm looking at right now, 27%, reading 39%. It's the 262nd ranked high school in Georgia. The majority of the area is relatively poor. Courtney Williams has had to fight for everything in her life. Understand who she is, so you can understand who Chennedy Carter is. Understand who Courtney Williams is, so you understand what Chennedy Carter had to deal with when the happy-go-lucky Courtney Williams and her collided back in 2020. That was the year I think it was. Let me check. Let me confirm it. That was the year 2021. Sorry, 2021. Year 2021, when they collided, that is who Chennedy Carter had to deal with. Courtney Williams, the player who got traded in her first 6 games in Phoenix. We don't know why she was traded, because they got literally nothing for her, people. I'm going to tell you who they got for her. Connecticut got Courtney Williams and the draft rights to Jillian Aline, who as well as a second round pick in the 2017 draft for Kelsey Bone, 6'4", big. Kelsey Bone is who they got. Kelsey Bone, for her career, averaged 8.1 points per game, 4.6 rebounds. That season that she went from Connecticut to Phoenix, she averaged 3 points per game with the Phoenix Mercury. The Phoenix Mercury gave away a 22-point per game scorer in college, a dynamic player, for a 3-point scoring bum who played 20 games did not start, averaged less than 10 minutes. The next year, did not even play in the WNBA, and ended her career in 2018 with the Las Vegas Aces, averaging 2.8 points per game in 10.8 minutes per game. Career over in 2018. That is who Phoenix gave away Courtney Williams for. Ask yourself why. Think about why. There's nothing out there that I can find to tell me why. Because that has to be the dumbest trade I've ever heard of. Literally the dumbest trade I've ever heard of. Awful trade, if you ask me. Horrendous trade. They actually got 3 for 1. Now, mind you, the Jillian Elaine girl, she never played really anything. She never played at Connecticut. She didn't do anything in the WNBA. Useless. Don't even know who the second round pick was. But head for head, Courtney Williams or Kelsey Bone is trading a potential star level player for a bum. Ask yourself why Phoenix made that trade. So now she's in Connecticut. And now she is in her, what year is she in Connecticut? She is in year, this is 2016, 2017. So in 2016, she played 19 games. She averaged 8 points a game in 17 minutes. 2017, her second year, she played 34 games, started 28. She's 23 years old, averaged 12.3 points per game. In 2018, she played 30 games, started 29, averaged 27 minutes a game. She averaged 12.6 points per game. It was in 2018 where she got into a fight with her teammate, Alex Bentley. Physical altercation, they call it. The incident reportedly occurred between June 27th and July 1st of 2018. 10 days later, Alex Bentley was traded to Atlanta for Lashia Clarendon and a 2019 second-round pick. Following the incident, Williams sat out 4 games for personal reasons, according to the Sun. She was back in action against the Liberty on that Wednesday. When asked about the trade, Sun coach and GM Curt Miller said team chemistry factored a lot into the decision. Miller added that the team's culture had been shaken a little bit. Okay. So you traded Alex Bentley, who had been with your team in 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018. Now, consider the fact that Alex Bentley's a 5'7" guard. There is likely competition between these two. Courtney Williams is trying to take her job more than likely, or has taken her job. Bentley's a 5'7", 150-pound guard. Williams is 5'8", 145, 150 pounds. Courtney Williams is a better player. You can see it numbers-wise. But in 14, 15, and 16, Alex Bentley was a starting guard for the Connecticut Sun. 17, she's no longer a starter. She starts 9 games. And in 18, she plays 19 games, doesn't start at all. Averages 10 points per game. But she got traded. Courtney Williams did not. Why is it that Courtney Williams gets into an altercation and somebody else gets traded? Then this happens. Sorry, before I get to that point. Then on February 19th of 2020, remember, Alex Bentley got traded in July of 18. Now, Courtney Williams is there for one more season in Connecticut, the 2019 season. She starts 34 games. She averaged 13.2 points per game. And then she gets traded. She gets traded February 19th, 2020. Guard Courtney Williams, a key member of the Connecticut Sun's run to the WNBA Finals last season. So the Connecticut Sun went to the WNBA Finals the season before. The season before. Remember, Curt Miller said there was team friction, problems with chemistry, all that shit. And yet Williams was out for 4 games. My guess is Alex Bentley beat her ass. My guess. Because if Courtney Williams didn't do anything and she was the victim, I'm throwing this out there, I'm putting out, she was the victim. Alex Bentley beat her ass. and she had a chance to heal. Or Courtney Williams was the aggressor, and because she was the better player, she got suspended for 4 games, and they traded the backup. You think of that. You could pick which way you want. My guess, Courtney Williams was likely the aggressor, but because she was the better player, they shipped off the backup because of team chemistry. You're not going to ship off the starter, are you? No, you're not. You want to win. So you're going to send the backup away, who still got you 2 players, and you keep the starter. I hope you're running with me here, folks. I know we're 15 minutes in. Like I said, I'm going deeper into this thing because you only believe what you've heard from various entities. Let's go back to Courtney Williams. She gets traded to the Atlanta Dream in a 3-team deal. She will join another Sun starter from last season, guard forward Shakina Strickland, who signed with the Dream as a free agent over the weekend. The Dream traded forwards Jessica Breland and Nia Coffey to Phoenix, who sent the 17th overall pick in the upcoming draft to Atlanta. The Mercury also sent veteran guard Brianne January and a 2021 second-round pick to the Sun to complete the deal. Consider the fact that the Connecticut Sun got a second-round pick and someone by the name of Brianne January. Oh, have you heard of her? I don't know who the fuck Brianne January is. Let's keep it a buck. Brianne January right now is 38 years old, folks. She played 9 years in Indiana, actually. I'm looking at this right now. I have no idea who she is. I have no idea who she is. She gets traded to Connecticut. Her basically at the end of her career, folks. Like, this is what we're talking about. Connecticut, she actually started 13 games in 2020, and she started all 29 and 21. She averaged 5 points and 7 points. They got rid of Courtney Williams for a 5-point and for a 6-point per game player. They got nothing. And a year later, she's in Seattle, and after that, she's retired. She played 14 years. She was a career 7.8 points per game player. Her best season doesn't sniff Courtney Williams. Ask yourself why. But then also here, let's clarify more because there's a conflicting commentary on why she was traded by Connecticut. Connecticut coach and general manager Kurt Miller made it clear Courtney Williams wanted the trade. Okay. The same guy that said there was problems with her and Alex Bentley. Remember, Kurt Miller got rid of Alex Bentley for Courtney Williams. Unfortunately, despite our best efforts and all the loyalty and support we've shown Courtney over the last 4 seasons, it became clear that she no longer wanted to return to Connecticut. I will look back fondly on the memories we created together, but my focus is, as always, is with the players that have a burning desire to help the Connecticut Sun hang the franchise's first championship banner. That's the GM coach saying, we showed that broad loyalty and she wanted out regardless. Williams, though, disputes that. She says on Instagram, because this is where she does her work, she posts stupid shit on social media. Never intended nor wanted to leave Connecticut, and I hope the Connecticut fans and my teammates really understand that. Thank you to the fans and my teammates for really accepting a kid like me and my different ways of doing things. A kid like me and my different ways of doing things. Y'all are really something special, and I love y'all forever. Folks, what are her different ways of doing things? Ask yourself that question. She has an attitude. She has an attitude. She has an attitude of someone who came from nothing. Kind of sounds like someone that we know. Kind of sounds like some player that we know that played in Chicago last year. Doesn't it? Chennedy Carter went to a high school that's 49% black, 23% Hispanic, 11.5% Asian, and 11% white. It's a minority school. It's actually a pretty good school from what it says here. But again, a lot of these kids are coming from tough situations. They're coming from tough situations. It's very, very rare that you go to any city in America and you have a school that's 88% minority and they are wealthy. All right. So you have Courtney Williams, who comes from her disadvantaged childhood. You have Kennedy Carter, who comes from a disadvantaged childhood. And now these two women collide at some point, right? Courtney Williams, her way of doing things. I think if you've watched Courtney Williams, even in Unrivaled, even just that one-on-one versus Ryan Howard, she literally assaulted Ryan Howard in basketball. If Courtney Williams pulled that shit in the street with Ryan Howard, Courtney Williams pulled that shit in the street in the park, the way she pulled it in Unrivaled with someone like Ryan Howard, who's 6'2". 6 foot Ryan Howard might have dunked her face in the basket. I'm serious here. She gets away with bullshit because she's 5'8". She literally hammered Ryan Howard over and over again in that Unrivaled one-on-one game. Hammered her. She didn't approach Nafisa Collier the same way, by the way, if you watch that game. Not even remotely close. Not even remotely close. But Courtney Williams posts that shit on social media. And again, given away for a bum. She was given away for a bum to Connecticut, and Connecticut gave her away for a bum. She wanted out. She disputes that. Who do you believe? Who do you believe? I believe the GM. The same GM that dumped the girl who got into a fight with her a year and a half earlier. The loyalty that they showed her, which makes me even more so believe that Courtney Williams was the instigator and she was suspended for 4 games. Not for personal reasons, but she was suspended because she started a fight. What do you think? Bentley got traded. Bentley wasn't suspended. Okay? Now, I'm taking down a timeline, folks, here. So bear with me. Bear with me. Now we got, and I got all these links open, that's why I'm asking you to bear with me. Now we go. Chennedy Carter is the number 1 draft pick for the Atlanta Dream. She's the 4th pick in the draft. And she goes to play for Atlanta in 2020. As a rookie, she starts all 16 games. She's 21 years old, plays 25.4 minutes, finishes with 17.4 points per game, 3.5 assists, 2.5 rebounds, shoots 47.5% from the field. And she finishes 2nd in Rookie of the Year, behind Crystal Dangerfield, who averaged 16, 2, and 3.5. Don't know how the hell Crystal. I wasn't watching the WNBA in 18 and 20, so I have no idea. How the hell does she outplay Crystal Dangerfield and almost basically outplays her and doesn't win Rookie of the Year? I mean, it was 44 votes to 2. Like this is not. I don't even understand. Like if you thought. Like we thought, like the Angel Reese fans thought that she deserved more votes, like which she didn't. She didn't deserve any. Chennedy Carter averaged 17.5 points a game, leading all rookies, and doesn't get more than 2 votes. That's interesting. That's interesting. I don't even understand how that can possibly be. But she averages 17.5 games points per game. Now, the incident with Courtney Williams happened in 2021, right? Remember, she's already had an incident with Alex Bentley, and now she's been traded twice for ducks, for ducks, and we don't really know why. We don't know. So now we have Courtney Williams and Chennedy Carter as teammates. All right, they've been teammates for now, going on their 2nd year because they both started with Atlanta in 2020. Chennedy Carter averaged 17.5. Courtney Williams averaged 14.6. Okay. Courtney Williams started 14 games. Chennedy Carter started all 16 games that she played, and I guess this was a shortened season. I think this was a 22 game season. Let me confirm. It was a 22 game season. All right. Now you go into 20. Again, you have 2 players that are similar style, both 5'8", 5'9", 5'7", around that range, 150, 145 to 155, 160 pounds. Very similar players. Very similar styles, except for Courtney Williams probably shoots from the perimeter a little bit better, like deeper on the perimeter. But mid-range, Kennedy Carter's an assassin. So you have two players again who are potentially competing for the same job, the same minutes. It's really hard for a team to have two 5'8" girls, women on the court at the same time because there's going to be defensive issues when they're out there together. If you have a point guard who's 5'11" and a two who's 6'1", defensively one-on-one, they're going to have some trouble, right? Because they're too small. Okay. So let's go look at this situation now. This situation with Chennedy Carter and Courtney Williams occurred around June 3rd. I'm sorry, not June 3rd. I'm sorry. Happened. I'm sorry. Let me confirm it. I apologize. I'm looking at the wrong part of it. Here it is. Happened. I'm sorry. Happened in July. Happened in July. Remember that. Remember these dates. These dates are critical in nature. I just want you to understand. These dates are critical in nature. July. This happened around July 6th, July 5th. Atlanta Dream has suspended Chennedy Carter until further notice due to what the franchise said Monday was conduct detrimental to the team. Carter, the number 4 pick in the 2020 draft, was a standout at A&M. Was draft eligible as a junior, after to go pro. Blah, 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 blah. Carter started but played just 5 minutes, 34 seconds of a loss to Las Vegas and did not return. Coach Mike Peterson said afterward it was not because of an injury, but something the team was dealing with without giving details. Remember, she was a starter. Chennedy Carter in 21 started all 11 games she played. She was averaging 14 points per game. Numbers went down a little bit, but her minutes were about the same, 25 minutes. Courtney Williams was playing about 34 minutes a game. She started all 32 games she played. She averaged 16.5 points. That was the best season of Courtney Williams' career. Okay. Again, I'm going to sit here and venture to guess there was some competition going on between these two players. They played together the year before. Seemed like maybe Chennedy Carter got the better of Courtney Williams in this second season. It was going in the opposite direction. Who knows what it was? Conduct detrimental to the team. It is so open-ended. I hate when people suspend people for that type of garbage because we never, ever know what it really is. Okay? But what it says here is during a 2021 game between Carter's Atlanta Dream and the Las Vegas Aces team. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Between Carter's Atlanta Dream and teammate in the game versus the Aces and teammate Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams approached. See, that's a bullshit word. Approached Carter and told her to improve her attitude. The suggestion led to an argument. So now listen to this verbiage. This is the New York Post writing this thing years in 2024 after Chennedy Carter checked Caitlin Clark. So you see how it's being even written to make Chennedy Carter look like a massive fucking villain, right? So approached to improve her attitude. First of all, told her, first of all, who are you to talk to me? Who are you to talk to me? Are you my mama? The coach can talk to me. Who the fuck are you to talk to me? That's my mentality. The suggestion, really it was a suggestion, led to an argument, and Carter did not play in the second quarter. Then the second-year player ultimately stayed in the locker room for the entire second half, where it seems that there was potentially some altercation at halftime or attempted altercation. Following the game, Carter reportedly was upset about her playing time and Atlanta's struggles, approached Williams, who rebuffed her, saying she did not want to hear about playing time. That's when Carter made noises about wanting to fight her teammate per the outlet. Williams, now with the Minnesota Lynx, did not share that sentiment and removed herself from the situation, preventing a physical altercation. Now, I really want you to understand what we're talking about here, because now I'm going to take you to where we need to be. Now I will take you to where we are at the moment. So here is the news report, which you probably have already saw on Ben's channel. on the Ben Daniel podcast. If you haven't subscribed there, please do subscribe there as well. But this is a report of this oh, you can just watch.
Ended without pay. Guys, the fight happened in May, but the video started circulating in October.
That right there is Courtney Williams, man. She's laying hands. She's letting hands go, by the way. And I'm going to read to you more about what actually happened because I'm going to go deeper. Like I said, I've been going deeper. We're 30 minutes in. I hope you're still here.
After the end of the season,
look at this big ass broad right next to freaking Courtney Williams. Look at here. Let's take a look again.
The league said,
let's take a look. Let's start back over. I want you to see it again.
Look, in May, but
look at right here. Look at right here. Look at this.
The fight happened in May, but the video started circulating in October.
You got this big ass broad, this big ass broad. Three women going after this one little ass.
Also took into account health and safety protocol violations related
she is a
to the
savage.
Fight.
You think Courtney Williams is some innocent victim and shit? She's a fucking savage. She's a dog. She will fight anybody. You know why she didn't fight Chennedy Carter? Because Chennedy Carter would have fucked her up. And she knew it. Because whatever dog Courtney Williams thinks she is, Chennedy Carter is 10 times that dog.
Williams led the Dream in scoring and rebounds this past season. She was named to the 2021 WNBA All-Star team. Bradford averaged just under 9 points a game before a broken foot ended her season in August. When the suspensions were announced yesterday, Williams tweeted the fight was a, quote, terribly unfortunate incident. She sincerely regrets her part in it. She also said,
take a look at the date. That's November 23rd. November 23rd. This fight happened in May of that year.
She ended without pay. Guys, the fight happened in May, but the video started circulating in October after the end of the season. The league says Williams tweeted the fight was a, quote, terribly unfortunate incident. She sincerely regrets her part in it. She also said she...
All right. You see that, right, folks? You saw that, right? I'm going to let you know. I'm going to give you a little information. That fight happened before the situation with Chennedy Carter. That fight, where that savage right there, that savage point guard, shooting guard, got into a fight with people at a food truck. You know what level of ghetto you have to be? What type of level of ratchet? What level of hood you have to be to get into a fight at a food truck? Is the food that good that you can't wait in a line? I mean, please explain to me what would instigate a brawl. This is not a fight. This is a brawl. A brawl like this, where the person you see throwing more hands than anybody in this thing is Courtney Williams. And she's bigger than most of these chicks here, except for the people that are fighting with her, who, oh shit, are her fucking teammates. Her fucking teammates, people. Her teammates. Her Atlanta Dream teammates. Now, here's where it gets good. Remember, this was in May. This is before the incident with Chennedy Carter. Let me ask you this. If this had come to light in May, would Courtney Williams have still been on the team? Would Courtney Williams have been cut? Would she have been suspended? This is embarrassing. If an NBA player got involved in some shit like this, 3 NBA players, because these are three WNBA players. If 3 NBA players got in some shit like this, what do you think would happen? They would be more than likely suspended for a lengthy period of time. But I'm gonna bring it home for you. Because believe me, there's more. Do you want to know how that video got out? You want to know how that video got out? You want to know how that thing ended up on the news in November of 21? Courtney Williams posted it on social media. Courtney Williams told on herself. Why didn't she tell on herself in May? So, October 4th, 2021, Atlanta Dream guard Courtney Williams apologized on social media on Monday for a video she posted on her YouTube channel that made light of a fight she was involved in earlier this year. The decision to post it seems to have cost her and a teammate their jobs. Her agent confirmed on Instagram live chat late Tuesday. I tried to click the link no longer works. Marcus Crenshaw of the FAM Sports Agency explained the situation and that the Dream have been aware of the video while speaking with Christina Williams of Girls Talk Sports TV. Clicked on that, no longer works either. Williams and teammate Crystal Bedford and former teammate Kalani Brown, 3 WNBA players, 3. Let's take a look at the size of these women. Bradford, my bad. Crystal Bradford is 6 foot tall. Okay? Let's look at Crystal Bradford. Crystal Bradford. That was the end of Crystal Bradford's career. Just so you know. She never played in the WNBA again. Crystal Bradford never played in the WNBA again. A former first-round pick of the Los Angeles Sparks, 7th pick in the draft in 2015. She played with the Sparks for one season, then she didn't play because she had a PCL. Then I guess she went overseas for a couple of years. Never played in 19. Like she didn't play in the WNBA for 5 straight years. Got back to Atlanta in 21 as a 27-year-old, and that was the end of her career. Kalani Brown. I could swear Kalani Brown was just traded to somebody. Kalani Brown was just traded to the Phoenix Mercury, actually. Kalani Brown is 6'7", folks. 6'7". 6'7", 245 pounds. My guess is Kalani Brown's that big one right next to freaking, in that video, she's that big ass woman right next to Courtney Williams. 6'7", 245. That happened in 21. She did not play in 22 at all. Ends up in Dallas in 23 and 24. She's a bench warmer and backup, averages 5-6 points a game, 7 points a game. But she had played 2 years in Atlanta. Now, Williams' teammate Crystal Bradford, former teammate Kalani Brown, and others were seen in a brawl in a parking lot near a food truck in Atlanta. It's not clear specifically when the video took place, though the fight happened in May after the WNBA season had already started. In her video, which she later deleted from YouTube, Williams was seen making light of the fight. She apologized on Monday morning. I want to sincerely apologize for the video posted yesterday. I would never want to represent myself or the organization in a negative way. I'm learning every day, so I ask for grace as I'm growing. You're growing? How old were you? You were 27 years old. You're a grown fucking woman. 27 years old. Chennedy Carter, when she got into it with you, was 22. 22. You were 27 in that same season. You're the adult. She's the kid. Your behavior far exceeds anything that Chennedy Carter could have possibly done in that locker room. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Are you sure the cancer in the locker room was Chennedy Carter and not Courtney Williams, who had already been in a brawl, a street brawl with 2 teammates This was hidden from the franchise. Hidden. These women didn't even tell their team what happened. They could have all been arrested. Let's keep this up. Again, I apologize to all attached, and I will be better moving forward. It's unclear in the video specifically what led up to the fight. Williams said in her since deleted YouTube video that law enforcement was not involved. She's very lucky because she would have gone to jail. And then maybe Chennedy Carter would have never been viewed as this awful teammate. What do you think? Am I changing your opinion a little bit? Maybe. I hope you're it's 40 minutes in. I hope you're still here. I hope you're still here. I really want you to hear it all. I'm in no way saying that Chennedy Carter is an angel. I am not. Chennedy Carter has an attitude. The whole point of this is to show you that Chennedy Carter and Courtney Williams are cut from the same cloth. Similar backgrounds, fighting, clawing for everything that they want. 5'8", undersized. I mean, according to freaking Asia Wilson, if they were white, they'd have white privilege, despite being 5'8" and undersized. They're playing a grown woman's game of women that are typically at least 4 inches taller than them. And they're elite at what they do in their sport. Chennedy Carter clearly is levels better than Courtney Williams. No one was seriously injured. Nobody, at least for the most part, even knew about the fight until Williams posted the video herself. She and her girlfriend, YouTube personality, Glamazante, I don't even know what the fuck that is. Oh, what is this? Oh, my word. Glamazante. What the shit is this? Oh, what the fuck? Blogger, lifestyle. I mean, I tell you, man, she's a lesbian? Shit. God damn. Typically, when you say Amazon for a woman, it's like a really tall woman. I tell you what, Courtney Williams, man, she's picking up the hotties, huh? They put up a nearly 40-minute video on Sunday. That decision seems to have cost Williams a job, as the Dream have reportedly informed her and Bradford that they will not be re-signed under any circumstances. Remember, this is the team that suspended Chennedy Carter for basically the rest of the season because of her behavior. Crenshaw, who represents both Williams and Bradford, confirmed that the Dream organization told him they would not re-sign the free agents. I talked to them, and they told me they didn't want to bring both back. Crenshaw alleged that the organization is trying to act like they have the morals and making them, Williams and Bradford, some sort of scapegoats. How, sir? How? How are they scapegoats? How are they scapegoats? Please do tell. Because one player got suspended for some shit with Courtney Williams, and she got into a brawl 2 months before that, and it didn't come out to light. And Chennedy Carter's career has likely been forever tarnished and potentially destroyed because of how the Atlanta Dream handled all this entire situation. Yeah, but we believe that Courtney Williams just said, "Hey, Chennedy, come on. Will you please cheer a little bit more for our team? You know, I understand you're in a bad mood, but you know, would you please cheer for our team? Come on, be supportive, Chennedy. Come on, Chennedy. Please, Chennedy." That's not what happened. Courtney Williams went up to Chennedy Carter and said, "Bitch, cheer for the fucking team. Stop fucking whining. Stop being a little ass. Stop being a hoe ass bitch, and cheer for the fucking team." That's what she probably said. That's how she probably approached her. Would you think that she approached her the first way I did it or the second way I did it? Crenshaw, the player who lost her job because of Courtney Williams posting that video, who never played again, said it happened about 5 months ago and Williams was attacked. She says Williams was attacked. Attacked why? Why was Williams attacked? Why would anyone attack a professional basketball player who got a 6 foot tall woman with her and a 6'7" woman with her? Why? That doesn't make a lot of sense to you now, does it? I think that's bullshit. I think Courtney Williams runs her fucking mouth a little too goddamn much. Just like she does in the WNBA, runs her fucking mouth a little too goddamn much. Just like she does in a rival, runs her mouth a little too fucking much. Thinks she can get away with whatever the fuck she wants to get away with. People just gonna back off. No. She ran her mouth and she had to cash it. She got a check she had to cash because someone cashed it for her. Bradford stood up for her. He said, this is according to Crenshaw. Crenshaw wasn't there. How the fuck would he know? Williams released the video to make light of it. Why would you make light of this? What is funny about that? What is funny about that shit? And there's nothing funny about that. And didn't think anything of it. So you thought, so Courtney Williams thought that it made sense to post a video of a brawl between her and two teammates and some regular fucking schmo fat ass broads at a food truck. The fact that it hadn't gone public already is a miracle. How the hell, who recorded it? How did she get the video? I would love to know. But she thought that it, in her infinite wisdom, it made sense to post this video because she didn't think anything of it. You play in the WNBA. You are a representative of not only the WNBA, but the NBA. Because the NBA was paying and still pays for your sorry shit turd league to fucking exist. Because the Dream didn't do anything about the video when the organization found out earlier in the season, he said. When they find out. When they find out. I think Crenshaw's lying. So when did the Dream find out? I would never in my wildest dreams think that a professional sports organization would have known about this and not done something about it. I have a hard time because number one, they'd have to report it to the police. That's for one. The team would have to report it to the police. Real shit. They'd have to. You couldn't not. You have your players committing felonies right here. These are felonies. You claim that they were defending themselves? We don't know that. What we see is a savage in Courtney Williams throwing fucking haymakers at somebody while her teammate is throwing haymakers at a woman who is 3 or 4 inches shorter than Williams and is a foot smaller than fucking the woman next to her. Look like Bradford or probably Bradford or Kalani Brown, whatever, whichever one that is. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? I don't believe shit this guy Crenshaw saying. In Courtney's mind, she's thinking it's something we got away from. They didn't do anything. It was nothing really. It was swept under the rug. So I can speak about it now. He reiterated that Williams takes full accountability, understands that she shouldn't have put the video up. He said she does feel bad for Bradford, who got caught up in all of it. Bradford took to Twitter, but deleted them later. And we'll read those to you. And here's my issue. You're going to claim that the team knew about it, but you thought it made sense to post it after the season ended. Okay. See, I think you're full of shit and you're lying because at the end of the day, there's no way in hell the team would sit here and say to you, oh, hey, Courtney, you know, if you decide you want to post this on YouTube, go ahead. No, what they would say to you if they were going to sweep it under the rug is you do not post this anywhere. In fact, you delete this video. You delete this video. We don't ever want to hear about this video. But that didn't happen. Now, did it? Does that make sense, people? You guys are smart. You guys who follow me are smart folks. You damn well know the Atlanta Dream, if they knew about it, they told her, if they knew about it, they would have told her, you better not post this video anywhere. So my guess is they probably didn't know, and this guy Marcus Crenshaw is a fucking liar, trying to cover his client's ass. Here we got a post from Bradford. Never did I glorify that altercation. It made me sick to my stomach, and having to relive it due to the video makes it more tough for me. Whatever that means. I'm going to take this time to heal mentally and physically and be better and continue to touch as many lives positively as I can. If a teammate or a friend is outnumbered, my thoughts will be to help them. There's more than one way to help someone other than to be physical, but when you are outnumbered, not too many choices in the moment. Folks, I just watched that video. You want to see it again? I can show it to you one more time. I don't know what the hell's outnumbered. I don't really know, but I'm watching this video and I'll tell you this. I tell you this. I tell you this. I tell you this. This does not look like they are outnumbered. They look like the ones that have the advantage. They're the ones that are way bigger than the other person. Like, you cannot sit here and tell me that these
without pay. Guys, the
look
fight
at this
happened
again.
in May.
This is her. This is Courtney Williams. These two ain't doing shit. There's one girl. There's 2-on-1 right here. That's a 2-on-1
But
fight.
the
There's someone back here
video started circulating in
that looks like
October
2-on-1
after the
beating
end of
one
the
girl
season.
up.
The league
Tell me
says the
about, okay, and then there's
suspensions
this one
also took
person. I don't know
into
if that's a
account
dude or a
health and
woman.
safety protocol
She's going,
violations related
this
to the
one,
fight.
I don't know what's
Williams
happening.
led the Dream in scoring
No,
and
you're not
rebounds
gonna
this
sit here
past
and tell me this
season.
is like
She was
security.
named to the
You
2021
you're telling me
WNBA.
this was a fucking, they got jumped? Stop it. You're lying. You're lying. This girl's lying too. She's lying too. Don't tell me that bullshit. So Courtney Williams does not get re-signed, and she ends up back in Connecticut in 2022. Ain't that something? Ain't that a bitch? Playing for the team that she wanted out away from, playing for the same damn coach that she left before. She probably begged her way back because they knew she could play, and they went that year 25-11, and she was on a team with DeWanna Bonner, Dejanay Carrington, Brianna Jones, Melissa Thomas, and they got to the WNBA Finals again. Lost to the Las Vegas Aces. Ain't that something? Ain't that about a bitch? For real. And she averaged 11.1 points. She was a starter for all 34 games. And what happened to Courtney Williams then? She left Connecticut and went to Chicago. I tell you, Courtney Williams left the Connecticut Sun to join the Chicago Sky as a free agent in 23. Got to ask yourself, why didn't Connecticut re-sign her again? Was she a headache there again? Who the hell knows? Interesting. She's looking for a long-term home when she entered free agency in 23. She signed, but yet she signs with the Chicago Sky. And she's tweeting at Cock Copper, who was later sent packing herself. I mean, Cock Copper was traded, I think, right after this. Yeah. So, yeah, she ends up in Chicago for one season. And Cock Copper ends up getting traded to the. She was traded from the Phoenix. Cock Copper, I believe, ended up getting traded from. Yeah, she got traded by the Sky in 23 so she ended up playing with her for 1 year in Chicago. Why did Courtney Williams leave Chicago? So Courtney Williams left Chicago as a free agent along with Alana Smith to Minnesota. So she went again. I thought she wanted to be somewhere for a while. She could have played with freaking Angel. Oh, I don't know. She could have played with Angel Reese. Look who they ended up signing, Chennedy Carter. You knew she couldn't play with Chennedy Carter. Ain't that something? Yeah. The Sky didn't want her back. They were trying to get Skylar Diggins Smith and Nneka Ogwumike, and they didn't. They didn't want Courtney Williams back. So that leaves Courtney Williams in Minnesota now. Let's talk about Chennedy Carter. Chennedy Carter then is out of the league. Out of the league. And she goes to LA, where she is dealing with Liz Cambage, who herself is a massive fucking head case. And of course, they've managed to blame everything on Chennedy Carter because it's easy to blame somebody who has a history. It's easy to blame someone with a history. Because Liz Cambage, not like she don't have a history. Liz Cambage played in 11 with Tulsa, didn't play in 12, played in 13 with Tulsa, didn't play in 14, 15, 16, 17, went to Dallas in 18, was second in MVP voting, 23 points a game, went to Vegas for a year, 19, didn't play in 20, then went to 21 with Vegas again. And then her last year, she's in Los Angeles with the Sparks. And with the Sparks, she's playing with Chennedy Carter, the Ogwumike sisters, Lexi Brown, Ray Burrell, Jordan Canada, Katie Lou Samuelson, Brittany Sykes, all these players on her team. All of these on her team. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? And there's videos of a game in which Liz Cambage clearly got completely sick and tired of the guard play with the Sparks, where she quit the team. She quit the team, it seems, because of Chennedy Carter. And they say here in an article, we think this was a mistake by Derek Fisher, that Chennedy Carter, rocky path, blah, 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 blah. Of course, they're trying to blame Chennedy Carter for the problem, even though a player like Liz Cambage was on this team, and Liz Cambage was the biggest fucking crybaby on earth. Liz Cambage quit the team. You got leaders like Chinny Ogwumike and Nneka Ogwumike. Why couldn't they control their team? This Los Angeles Sparks team went 13-23. They sucked. They sucked. They were trash. And somehow, the person that they blamed was Chennedy Carter, not Liz Cambage, who quit the team in game 25. Chennedy Carter didn't leave. She didn't quit the team. Liz Cambage quit the team after they lost the game by 18 points. There's a video where when I see on Back to Sports page, this is a podcast. This is another podcast, I guess. And she quit the team. But apparently it's all Chennedy Carter's fault that a grown-ass 6'8" woman who complains all the time, whose now career is OnlyFans, who took years off in between because she's a fucking head case. Liz Cambage has always been a head case. Somehow it became Chennedy Carter's fault. I don't know the specifics, but I know this. I know that if the Atlanta Dream had known about that fight with Courtney Williams, that brawl, the situation with Chennedy Carter would have never happened. And because it would have never happened, Chennedy Carter might still be in Atlanta today, playing with the Atlanta Dream. Real shit. She might. You don't know. Chennedy Carter doesn't tolerate bullshit. Why is Courtney Williams so easily able to jump from squad to squad, despite the fact she's a fucking lunatic? Because she is perceived as happy to the public, and Chennedy Carter has a mean scowl on her face? Because that's really the difference between the two, is that Courtney Williams puts on this happy persona to the public, whereas Chennedy Carter looks like this mean, nasty bitch publicly. She looks like she's angry. She does, because she doesn't tolerate bullshit. And so she goes and plays with Chicago with a first-year rookie head coach who has no control, doesn't know what she's doing. Teresa Witherspoon had no idea what she was doing. And when Chicago was playing at their best, Chennedy Carter was balling. And when they were playing at their worst, they were padding up a bogus-ass streak of double-doubles for Angel Reese. And Chennedy Carter didn't like it. Do you think Chennedy Carter was really sick in the hospital? I don't. I think she had it. I think she had it playing with Angel Reese. Probably could not stand Angel. There's a reason Marina Mabrey left. You think it was because of Chennedy Carter? I don't. Again, I don't think Kennedy Carter is an easy person to deal with. I think she has a very, very short fuse, and she will react if provoked. I don't think she's looking for an issue. I think she has issues that people that are similar to her in nature. Courtney Williams is very similar to Kennedy Carter, man. The league is a bunch of hypocrites. WNBA, as Ben Daniels said, it's a hypocrite league. It's a hypocrite league. Kennedy Carter don't tolerate the bullshit. The fact of the matter is, Courtney Williams has been in 1, 2, 3 incidents. 3. Sent packing by Connecticut because she wanted out. Fight with one teammate. A near fight with another. A brawl before that other one with the other. I mean, like, at what point is Courtney Williams held responsible for her behavior? That's all I'm saying. You think that really, really, really that Courtney Williams just was so nice to Kennedy Carter? I don't. I believe you got 2 alpha female characters who are both 5'8" guards who are battling for minutes, battling for time, and both of them are trying to take each other's head off. If those 2 played one-on-one, I'd love to see that one because that would be an absolute scrap. Now, I'll tell you this. Kennedy Carter ain't been signed yet. Give it time. Give it time. If she's not, I would be absolutely shocked to see no one take a flyer. I'm telling you right now, obviously, I don't think she's going to be in Minnesota because Courtney Williams is there. But if Vegas does not make a move on Kennedy Carter, I think they're out of their fucking minds. I think they're out of their minds. Another team that should go after her is Washington. Washington would be one that should go after her. And Vegas. Those 2, no-brainer. Heck, at this point, even Connecticut, they got nothing. They need someone like her on their squad. They need someone like her. But we'll see what happens. But I hope I was able to educate you on reality. That whatever you may have heard, while some of it may be true, no one is discounting that Kennedy Carter might be very difficult to deal with because she doesn't tolerate the bullshit. But this league is filled with hypocrisy because there's no fucking way in the world that you have a brawl like that with a player and she's not suspended by the WNBA for half the season. For fuck's sakes. You see what happened in Malice in the Palace? Ron Artest lost his season. Steven Jackson lost half a season or season. I mean, these guys are suspended forever. She's fighting people in the city of Atlanta in a brawl. It's a felony. What do you think, people? Y'all smart. Let me know your real thoughts now. I'd love to hear. I hope you watch this whole hour. I told you I was going to go deep on this one. A lot deeper than you've seen. Because I'm going in. Because Kennedy Carter got traded from a team that went to the WNBA Finals and then got let go again after going to the WNBA Finals with the same fucking team she went back to. Does that make sense? I don't know. Leave your thoughts in the comments. This is Rudy's Rant. We talk facts and feelings, man. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Like, subscribe, follow, hit that bell, man. Come on now.